Group C of the Women's World Cup consists of Spain, Costa Rica, Zambia, and Japan. The Spanish women qualified by winning their UEFA Group B with 8 wins, 0 draws, and 0 losses, with a hefty goal difference of plus 53. Costa Rica qualified after securing a top 4 spot in the CONCACAF tournament, making it to the semifinals but losing to USA. The Zambian women were able to qualify after securing a top 4 finish in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. They made it to the semifinal but lost 1-0 to South Africa in an extra time penalty. Japan qualified by securing a top 4 finish in the Asia Cup. They made it to the semifinals, eventually losing to China in penalties after a 2-2 draw. Here are the current FIFA rankings for Group C. The Spanish women are known as La Roja. The Spaniards are relatively new to the international stage. They've only qualified to the past 2 World Cups in 2015 and 2019. They were able to advance out of their groups in the 2019 World Cup, but succumbed in the round of 16. La Roja are the dark horse to win this tournament. They've flown under the radar after poor results in the 2022 Euros when they were favorites to win. Disputes between the players and head coach Vilda and the coaching staff have come to a head last fall when the players united, alleging misconduct of the coaches and asking the Spanish Federation to take action. In a surprising outcome, the Federation ignored their allegations, throwing their support behind Vilda. On the list of allegations were mismanagement of injuries, training, and locker room atmosphere. 12 players from that boycott have been left off the World Cup roster, with the 4 listed here as the only ones not frozen out by Vilda. If you feel that missing 12 established players has hurt their chances, it doesn't seem it will have. They played without 15 of these players in a friendly against USA last fall, winning and looking very composed and competitive for a replacement squad. Their only loss in the past 12 months has been against Australia, losing 3-2 in the Cup of Nations. The concern will be if this harmony between the remaining players who boycotted and the replacement squad can continue when the pressure is on and when playing in a knockout match. Here are the key players for Spain. Alexia Putellas is a midfielder for Barcelona. She is the most capped Spanish female at 100 caps with 28 goals. 2-time Ballon d'Or winner, she is the star of the squad. She's coming off a knee injury, not returning to play for her club until this past spring. The only concern will be keeping her fit for critical matches. Jennifer Hermoso, the Spanish female with the most goals for her nation at 48 goals and 98 caps. Her experience in finishing can't be ignored. With her career beginning as an attacking midfielder and later transitioning to a forward, she creates chances for her teammates as often as she scores. Expect to see her with as many assists as goals in this tournament. The Costa Rica women are known as Las Ticas. Costa Rica will be playing in their only second World Cup, failing to qualify until the 2015 World Cup in Canada. They didn't make the cut for the 2019 World Cup after a controversial disallowed goal cost them a match against Jamaica, and they were unable to make it out of their CONCACAF group. Costa Rica coach Amelia Valverde has stated the goal for her team is to make it out of the group stage and into the knockouts. This will be a tough task for Las Ticas. In their one prior World Cup, they failed to win any matches, drawing 2 matches against Spain and South Korea and losing to Brazil. For them to advance, they'd need to simultaneously accomplish another record, and that is win their first ever World Cup match. Over the past 12 months, Las Ticas' record is a lot of losses, with only 3 draws against Philippines, Mexico, and Colombia. Their only 2 wins were against Philippines and Haiti. Las Ticas are a tough team, and their losses in the past 12 months were not blowouts, so they will come into this feeling like they can take any team on. Raquel Rodriguez, the 2016 NWSL Rookie of the Year and current Portland Thorn, is a midfielder for the Costa Rican side. For the Thorns, she gets deployed as a defensive or attacking midfielder. Valverde deploys her as a central forward or in the central midfield. She has 100 caps and 55 goals for Costa Rica. She definitely scores more than she assists, so we will see her on the receiving end of balls into the box or taking defenders on one-on-one. She's good with her feet and defensively astute. She'll be key to Las Ticas' possession and transition, either regaining possession in the middle of the pitch or weaving around defenders to release their attack. Melissa Herrera's current club is Bordeaux. Herrera gets deployed across the front line or as an outside midfielder, typically playing on the right for her club. For her national team, she often plays up top as part of a striker pair. Herrera plays the role of distributor. She will be key to holding up play for Las Ticas, allowing for support to arrive and setting up her teammates to score. We will see her assist Rodriguez through the tournament. The Zambian women are known as the Copper Queens. We have another debut team, with Zambia qualifying for the first time. The African nation had a growth over the past decade, with incremental improvements along the way. In 2014 and 2018, they made it to the Africa Cup, but failing to advance out of their groups. In 2016, they didn't qualify at all. In the most recent Africa Cup in 2022, they took third place, not losing a match until succumbing to South Africa in the semis. The Copper Queens beat Nigeria 1-0 in the third place match. This has been quite an upward trajectory for the Copper Queens. This is an intriguing team, recently upsetting World Cup favorites Germany in a friendly, winning 3-2. Looking over the past months, their record is streaky. They'll win a few matches, but then they'll lose a bunch. Their biggest recent loss is to South Korea, losing in 2 back-to-back friendlies, 5-2 and then 5-0. The loss isn't so much a concern as that they allowed 5 goals in 2 consecutive matches. Spain are the likely favorites to win Group C, but who advances on with them is up in the air. Odds were leaning to Japan, but Zambia is just as likely to advance to the knockout stages. The most pivotal match in this group will be the Japan vs. Zambia match. They come head-to-head as each other's first game of the tournament. Whomever wins this match is the likely team to advance to Spain, but if the match ends in a draw, each will come into their Costa Rica matches looking to pad their goal difference. The biggest hurdle for Zambia will be if their team's defense can stay composed and not crumble once goals are allowed. If they can absorb those and move on, then their debut could turn into a Cinderella story. Barbara Banda is a forward for Chinese club Shanghai Shangli. Banda scored back-to-back hat tricks at the 2020 Olympics in their match against Netherlands and then China. While a very dynamic player and individually talented, her biggest contribution to the Copper Queens at this World Cup will be when she better balances individual talent with being a team player. In their recent win over Germany, this balance was finally struck, resulting in a better team performance. Rachel Kundanaji is young at only 23 years old, but the forward ended the most recent season with club Madrid CFF as the second highest scorer in the Spanish league. She had 4.4 shot-creating actions per 90. Expect her and Banda to link up often in their matches. If these two can maintain their recently discovered symbiosis, the Copper Queens are on their way to the round of 16. The Japanese women's team are known as Nadeshiko. Japan are stalwarts of the Women's World Cup, appearing in every tournament since inception, winning in 2011 and placing second in 2015. The most recent tournament in 2019 saw them knocked out in the round of 16 loss to the Netherlands. Japan has suffered from an aging squad, with many of the veterans retiring and a rebuild being required. In the She Believes Cup this year, they placed second after USA. Their score lines are deceptive. In the matches against Brazil and Canada, they were clearly the dominant side in each match. In the delayed 2020 Olympics, they made it to the quarterfinals but ended up losing to Sweden 3-1. The rebuild of the Nadeshiko seems to be on the right path. Their matches over the past 12 months do have quite a few losses, but these are to teams like USA, England, Spain, and Netherlands. And in their losses, all of these are by 1 goal, except in the 4-0 loss to England. Their wins are from the solid teams in each of the different confederations. This tournament will provide the first meetup of Japan and Zambia, and as mentioned, will be the match to watch in this group. The Nadeshiko have rebuilt before. Will this rebuild be as successful as the last one? Manchester City midfielder Ui Hasegawa has been instrumental in protecting the back line. She is one of the top midfielders for interceptions at 39 this past season, with 2 per 90. Her composure on the ball will be key to Japan successfully playing the ball out of the back and keeping possession. Riko Ueki, the 23-year-old forward, will be heavily relied upon to supply goals for Japan. Japan has often been playing with a back 5, allowing less support when pushing forward. She ended her most recent club season with 14 goals. At the 2022 Asia Cup, she had the second highest goal count at 5, 2 behind top scorer Sam Kerr. This is Group C of the Women's World Cup. Who is your pick out of Zambia or Japan to advance out of Group C? Let us know down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notifications for our videos covering the World Cup.